Is this story written by Mr. Imran, Muhammad Imran, is it based out of folklore? Is it completely fictional? Does it have any kind of relatability to any true incident that has happened in the past? Or how does it work? The way she, usually when we women pull up our buns, when we get into business,
Hmm.
oh, I have to do some chores, I have to wash clothes, I
That's a very
have to
strong
wash my
statement.
dishes.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me pull up my bun and let me get into it, get my hands dirty and let me do it.
Breaking the stereotype kind of old monk drinking old lady
Already,
at a
yes.
local bar.
At a local bar.
So just those adds layers to a character that normally we don't
Won't see,
see.
yes.
And but that happens. I must say that this kind of things also happens in rural Odisha also.
I forgot I am in Odisha and watching an Odia movie. You completely wiped off the slate of Odia cinema with your debut movie, may I say, Jagdish. It was wonderfully done.
Thank you. Thank you.
From conjuring chills to capturing hearts, he's the visionary behind the biggest Odia blockbuster to date, Bou Buttu Bhuta. On today's episode of TV Tanya, we get a rare peek into the mind that seamlessly blended horror, humor, and heart into pure cinematic magic. The man himself, Jagdish Mishra. Namaskar and welcome to the show.
Namaskar, Tanya. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to your show.
I cannot begin to tell you how huge a fan I have become of your work ever since I've watched the movie. But you have to tell me, like, what exactly inspired this movie in you?
This kind of question I always get, like what inspired me to do this movie or not. So let me begin that key. First of all, this concept, the story, is not mine. Okay, the concept is by Muhammad Imran. He is the writer. He is the story writer, and of course, he wrote the screenplay of the movie. But when this story was given to me, and the production house also approached me to direct this movie, and I was like, when I listened to the narration by Imran and I heard the story and everything, I really like the story. I really like the the rustiness in the story, the rootedness, the cultural
Rootedness.
rootedness of the story to our Odisha, the village life in Odisha. That really appealed me. Then in that story, in that concept, I put my imagination, I put my vision, I put my whatever I wanted to tell through the story. Because the story was there already, the story, the everything was there. But whatever I can add to the story, whatever I wanted to tell through the story from my mind also, I tried to project it through the film. And Imran has beautifully written the screenplay also. And yeah, so you can now you can see that in the theater. So yeah.
That is greatly said. And if I recall one vivid moment with you last year, I think sometime we met on dinner at my place and we were discussing this post dinner, like, what is next? What movie do you have next in mind? And we were talking about Odia industry does not have enough good horror movies. Actually, the entire Indian movie fraternity, the cinema fraternity, does not have a good horror, upcoming horror, good script. And at that moment, I was, I really wanted you to do something about it. And I'm so glad you finally did. So tell me, Jagdish, what was that moment when it finally clicked to you? Like when you were listening to that narration done by Imran, that when you were listening to his story, what was that moment when it clicked, that this is something I can totally make into a movie?
Yeah, so I remember that dinner night. We are discussing some, scary stories, real life incidents, some spooky events, and all. Yeah, Odia industry has not done much in horror genre. The last film I remember was Konde Yagirelluva.
Agrilua. Yes.
That's every
Aptly said.
every
Yes.
90s kids nightmare. Konde Yagirelluva. I also remember when I saw that film. While at night sleeping in my bed, I'll imagine ki there is a doll, Papi Gudia with the knife standing just next to me or behind the door. But yeah, from that 1997, 98 to 2025, it's almost 27, 28 years. There's not much horror in that span. So yeah, horror genre is very niche. It's a niche genre in film, and it's a little riskier also, and financially also. If you see history, I'm not talking about last 3, 4 years, 5 years. It has been changed, but horrors are not that a big a hit. In last 3, 4 years, there are too many horror comedies which are doing good, but before that, it was not a very big hit kind of genre. Um, so I'll say so kind of big hero, big superstar, or big stars avoid the horror genre in generally. But I'll say, commendable job by Mr. Babushaan Mahanti, who has picked the genre for himself, who is being a biggest star in the Odia industry. He has taken a bold step, shown confidence in a genre which is little risky for a, leading actor kind of thing. So when I was listening to the narration by Imran at his house, at Mr. Babushaan Mahanti's house, so he was narrating the story, whatever in the film, the starting from the beginning scene. So I really like the beginning scene when he narrated that lady will come and
Get dragged into the
get
boat,
dragged
yes.
into the boat. Then she will come to Ratnamala's house. Then Ratnamala will, she will do the ritual, and exorcism will happen and the ghost will go away. So I really like the scene, first scene. That was really nice. Then the story, in between story and the interval point, came the interval point where the, if you've seen the film, the interval point is a very, it's a very
Pivot
unique,
point,
yeah,
yes.
bit pivot point, and it's very visually and everything, the soundscaping wise, the it's a very important scene, and very what can I say, powerful scene. It's a very powerful scene. So that actually, when I reached that point, that actually kind of hooked me to the story. Yeah, I think I should do this story. That the interval point was a pivot point for me also. And then also then another scene when Imran narrated that scene when Ratnamala goes to Lee house. That scene also very, that also appealed me. And the major thing that appealed me in the story is the mother son
Relationship
relationship.
and how deep it goes.
Yeah, so that actually why when I listened to the writer, I think the core was that,
Mm-hmm.
and I found Ratnamala's character is very interesting.
Very, very
Very,
complex, very layered.
yes, Ratnamala character is very interesting, and these 3, 4 scenes I was kind of main major points where I see. Well, for me, it excited me, these 3, 4 scenes. There are many other scenes, but at that point of time,
Mm-hmm.
these 3, 4 scenes excited me, and the Ratnamala's character, the mother son relationship. So all those things kind of inspired me to take up the story. And there are a few horror films I liked in past, I have seen before, like genre horror. So kind of I find, yeah, if I make this film, this film, so these are kind of aligning to my interest, aligning to my style of filmmaking, and whatever I liked in past the films that I really like in horror genre is somewhere matching those. So let's do it.
Right. So, before I ask you my next question, I have to commend you on your pick of the place, the site of your shooting, because usually when we, as community of Odia people who come from the state, and every village looks identical. But I was so happy when I was watching the movie. I was so happy that the mood of the movie was very consistent. It was based in rural Odisha. It was a story of a village. It was a story of a door next door, of people next door, of neighbors like we have. But at the same time, even the daylights that you've pictured in the movie, they have that kind of eerie feeling to them. You can't rub it off your body. It's not a bright daylight. The lights are dim, even if it's a full day. it kind of makes you think, okay, it's a day, but I don't know how to think about it. Is it a good day? Is it a, not so good day? So I really like that, and I commend you on that for picking that place. Now I'll ask you a very obvious question. It's a very stereotyped question to be asked to any filmmaker who's ever had their hands, into the horror genre. Is this story written by Mr. Imran, Muhammad Imran, is it based out of folklore? Is it completely fictional? Does it have any kind of relatability to any true incident that has happened in the past? Or how does it work?
So it is a folklore. It is a kind of folklore, and we had discussion about this with I have discussion about this with Imran already. So see this kind of thing, exorcist, this kind of gunya, all those dahani and all. This happens today also in 2025. Also, it happens in rural Odisha. You can check the videos in YouTube also.
Right.
So that is there. Well, those kind of event happen. So that you can say that is based on true real
True events,
incident. Yeah,
yes. Huh.
ghost entering to the body and all those are also, in day to day life you can hear from many people in rural Odisha also. This is not a true story. This is a fictional. It's completely fictional story with some breadcrumbs from here and there.
From some true
Some true
incidents.
incident from rural Odisha, some folklore.
Mm-hmm.
Those nail in the
Tree
tree.
thing. I think every
That's
one of us heard
that's a
that, yes.
legend. That those are everyone of us heard those kind of stories.
Stories.
Ki don't
Never pull
remove
out nails,
never
yes.
never remove the pull out the nail from a tree or
Tree.
anything. You might get possessed or something. So this very common folklore thing. So based on that he made the story, and that if you remember that a ghost in Lee House.
Mm-hmm.
That's Karna Pisachin.
Shashini, correct,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Because
that
she whispers in
he
his
whispers.
ears.
So she tells the backstory. So she has the mystic power. So all those things, amalgamation of all those folklorish thing, the rural Odisha spooky things. So he made a script out of all those things. There are a lot of other things which we added to it with discussion among us. That's how the film is made.
One of the most appreciated characters of this movie is Ratnamala, the mother herself. And when I look at that character, the opening scene, I've seen so many different horror movies, and I'm a huge fan of horror movies. And, most of the movies have exorcists, someone like Lee, maybe from your movie, someone who's, revered to or respected in that particular community. But when Ratnamala, walks to the door to address somebody calling her out, and she's, pulling up her bun, and that's when you first realize, oh, she's the exorcist for the village. And that's kind of very unique because women usually don't get portrayed so powerfully in horror movies. Number one. Number two is she's a mother, she's running the house, she's treating people from the village, she's getting scolded, she's also misunderstood. People respect her out of fear, right? Not because she is doing something for them, but out of fear. And then there is definitely a backstory to how deep her love for her son goes. And there's a backstory coming up just before the interval happens, right? But, this is what has really baffled me about Ratnamala. Did you really acknowledge that character when you came to know about it, that she's also a lady who is, confident enough to go to the local bar and, sit with other men, to have a table to herself and drink and, order chicken and have it together? Were you appreciating that character when you said yes?
Yes, actually, as I said, that character, Ratnamala's character, is actually what inspired me or what pushed me to make this film, or
Mm-hmm.
I get invested in the film because of that character. So when we are conceptualizing the character, so it was written in the story script, but also once we started working on the script more and more, so we added a lot of layer in the character, that backstory, that alcohol and everything was there in the script. That everything was there. So see if you see the character of Ratnawala, she's a very confident lady.
Very
She is,
confident.
you can say she doesn't give a shit basically. She, matlab, किसी को कुछ उसको लेना देना
हाँ,
नहीं
नहीं
है.
है, हाँ.
She likes her world. She
Hmm.
likes her business. I think she's very passionate about her
Yes.
exorcism skills
Yes.
and all, and she loves her son.
Yes.
That actually the love is actually to an extent of, it's kind of a possessive love.
Yes.
That's a little motherly love, very strong love, but also she is very possessive about
Her
his
son.
son. That is why she is not sending him outside to study or to do job and everything. She's kind of, holding him back.
Back.
So the actually, if you see, the ghost is a metaphor of, it's actually the
Letting go.
letting go. So the possession of the mother, the possession is of mother's love is more stronger than the outward ghost.
Right.
So that was, in my mindset, the whole point of the film,
Mm-hmm.
the possession of the ghost
Mm-hmm.
and the possession of mother's love,
Mm-hmm.
the mother possessive love of mother is stronger than the ghost.
Yes.
So once you
Yes.
remove the ghost, the mother's possessive love also
Goes away.
goes away. So if you see the first half of the film, it was all about the possessive mother's love that is creating issue for the
Son.
son.
He's not able to go
He is
out,
never,
find a
yes,
job.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. So those are the thing. And he's the mother, the Ratnamala, going to local bar drinking. That's a usual thing for the lady. So
Mm-hmm.
in village also no one is bothering about that. So if you see the film, in the local bar she's
They're very
drinking.
used to it.
Yeah, they're very used to it. They are
Mm.
very used to this lady. They are very used to this lady
Coming to the
coming
bar,
to the bar.
ordering drinks,
Ordering,
and
yes, and she is being the exorcist. Some people respect her, some people
get afraid of it.
get afraid of her. So it's both,
Mm.
it works both way. But because of her work, her line of work, Buttu, her son, he is getting embarrassed. He is getting mocked by people and all. You know how village.
People pull
Yeah,
his leg.
it's a very
Obvious
obvious
thing.
thing in village, in Indian villages or in village anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small community, right? So people do those kind of, tahi tapra joda हमको in Odia tahi tapra. So those kind of things we portrayed in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady being the central character of the film. So if you see my filmography, of course I have not done much films. This is my debut film, but before that also, if you see my filmography, there is a short film I have made, Lost and Found. Then another film that was unreleased before this, that is that will come, that will be get announced after some after some time or something. So that was also, the lead character was lady. In Lost and Found also there was a lady, female lady who was a central character. There's a mother
Mm.
who,
A very female
yeah, the
centric
grieving mother or something, yeah.
grieving mother,
So
yes.
this is also female centric. So I don't know. My majorly, most of my filmography are like,
Female centric,
female centric and mother centric. Kind of
mother
all the
centric.
lady female in my film are kind of, mothers who are lost something. Mostly son or something. Most they lost their sons. Their they have some differences with the son, mother
Mm-hmm.
son relation, mostly based on the mother son relationship, but central character are mother. I don't know, it gives a another layer to the story. When mother being a central character, you can add lot of layers, because a mother, being a woman, first of all being a woman in the society, then a mother, a wife, then if you see an exorcist
As well.
as well, then breaking the stereotype, kind of old monk drinking old lady
Old lady,
at a
yes.
local bar.
At a local bar.
So those adds layers to a character that normally we don't
Won't see,
see.
yes.
And but that happens. I must say that this kind of things also happens in rural Odisha also. There are pockets in Odisha, villages in Odisha where women are very ferocious. They are, they break the stereotype. They are like very powerful in the village also. So That's kind of a statement ki yeah, normalize this also. Why normalize
Just men going to
men?
the bar and drinking.
Oh
Yes, just
yes, yes.
normalize this as
So
well.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, if we can ward off ghosts, if we
Yes,
can ward off spirits, I
yes,
mean, what is just one glass of,
yeah.
one peg of old bunk? I mean, it's just as easy as that.
Yes, yes. I like the also when Aparajita Mahanti does that, Ban Mala thing.
Oh,
That is,
it is epic. May I
yes,
just tell
yes,
you, it's epic. That
yes,
scene, I don't think that will ever wipe off the memory of your movie from my brain.
yes,
The
yes.
way she is portrayed, the way she, usually when we women pull up our buns, when we get into business,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I have to do some chores, I have to wash clothes, I
That's a
have
very
to
strong
wash my
statement.
dishes.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me pull up my bun and let me get into it, get my hands dirty and let me do it. Now, there are a couple of other characters that I really liked. For example, the second ghost, I think it was Mandakini, right?
Mm,
Who cuts off her tongue not to,
yeah.
not to let her know, like, who is exactly going to take away her son.
Mm-hmm.
She wants her off, which was kind of a mockery. But when she is questioned further, just so that she's not gets pulled into the vortex of power play, she cuts off a bits of her tongue. I really like that character. I mean, I was not expecting something so, spine chilling to see. Everybody, and I watched the movie quite late, I'm so sorry about
It's
that,
okay.
but everybody who had seen the movie before me, they told me that it's a horror comedy movie, and it's not a palette that has not been explored before. This combination has been explored before by, mainstream Bollywood cinema, called, talk about Stree, talk about Stree 2. They've already done it. They've brought drama, humor, and horror together onto the same palette. But when I saw that scene with Mandakini, twisting her body around, although she's, chained to the wall, and Ratnamala is consistently pestering her to answer her questions, she bits off her tongue just like that, not to answer her question. It's, I don't won't say that I've not seen something like this before, but I was not expecting that from this movie. It was very bone chilling for me. That was one character that really appealed to me. The other character, of course, was Buttu's older cousin, the one who would not allow him to sit on his
Yeah.
bullet, the guy who would always be, a thorn at his side.
Udit Guru.
Udit Guru. And he's done wonderfully well. I mean, the moment we walked out of the theater, he was the first character me and my friend talked about. He portrayed, like, in separatist families, families that were once joint but are now nuclear, you always have these kind of equations, no? They won't confront you, but they will always pull your leg back.
True, true.
And he's done it phenomenally well. And then the other character that really appealed to me was Amri himself, Mr. Seth. He did a fantabulous job. The child artist that you selected to portray the character, all limbs, no body, barely standing there, lost his mother, fending off for himself, stealing food from the carts, and then stealing goats, and then falling in love, and the sounds he makes, the kind of unique laugh he has. I mean, I was a huge fan of Mr. Seth after I saw Amri's character. And I'll tell you what, while I was watching this movie, I was predicting that the ghost has to be Buttu's father. The kind of picturization that came forward. Why was he hanged and what happened that night that has left Buttu questioning his mother? I really thought it's the father who's come back. Because remember that scene that Buttu is sitting just below his father's portrait. I almost believed, I was absolutely 110% sure in my head, oh, this is so predictable. Oh, this is so predictable. And, but then when Amri's character got, revealed, I was not prepared for it. And that segment of your movie, may I say, I forgot I am in Odisha and watching an Odia movie. You completely wiped off the slate of Odia cinema with your debut movie, may I say, Jagdish. It was wonderfully done.
Thank you, thank you.
But there was one another surprise in that movie that maybe others would have missed, but I did not. You were there in that movie as well. And when
Yeah.
I saw that scene, and I was, I was jumping off my seat. Oh, that's Jagdish himself in the movie. And
Yeah.
what inspired you to do that?
That's just for the fun. That was that scene demanded very, it's just a casual, not a casual, let's say village gathering. Look, they are checking, skeleton, goat skeleton. So there were kind of after the position gets happen. when there's some eerie events happen in the village. So goats are getting disappeared, and they are discovering messy skeleton of goat and all. So it was a very everyday village gathering when something bad or something, this kind of things happen. So I was just playing a everyday villager kind of
But you
thing.
did really well.
Ah, thank you for that.
Whatever few seconds you
Uh,
spent on the screen, you did really well. So
yeah.
what I'm trying to say, Jagdish, is you do have a very lucrative future before the camera as well. You should give it a try and a
No,
thought.
I love acting, by the way. I used to act in theaters and all in college, in my engineering college days. So yeah, I love acting, but I like the cameo. I like to to restrict it to a cameo or a small kind of role, so that there won't be much pressure on me because I'm the most. I like to take the pressure on the director's
Actors.
seat, not in the actor's seat. So that is a fun cameo. So wherever I see a possibility of fun cameo, this like this in my movies, I do that. There are in Gangster Puri also, if you remember, there is this very small cameo.
So
So
I think this is going to be a trendsetter for you, right?
you can say these are Hitchcockian cameos, like as Mr. Alfred Hitchcock used to do in his movies in every.
Then I saw Shubha's guy do
Suhas
it, and
Ghai
I just
also
do it
does
in.
that thing.
So
So
I
I like to do cameos in my movies. I like it.
I could not stop myself from texting, others that, Jagdish himself is in the movie. You have to watch it. You have to watch
No,
it.
well, many of my friends, many colleague who know me, they have told me the review of the film, and they after that, especially they will mention about this cameo. The cameo is good. I don't know, so I'll keep it in my mind to do a fun cameo in every movie of mine.
I think, just like with the MCU, the Avengers fraternity, everybody, is glued to the seat even after the, post movie scenes are going on, the names are running up on the screen. Everybody's still rooted. And the same thing happened with your movie. Let me tell you. So once the, producer director's names started flashing on the screen, everybody got up and everybody started leaving the seat. And my friend who had already watched the movie, he just tagged along to watch it another time. He liked your movie so much, and he told me, do not get up, there is still left, there is something still left, movie abhi khatam nahi hui. And then I said it a little louder, oh, movie is left, oh, the movie is not over yet. And everybody sat back down. And that was a good moment. It's a very stereotypical thing to do with the horror movies, that they don't really always end. There is
Hmm.
a scene of continuity
Hmm.
to be continued,
Right.
right? So are we looking forward to, should we look forward to another sequel of this Bou Buttu Bhuta?
Yeah, might be possible. Well, we have not thought about the sequel or anything, but it's an open ending. So maybe in future, if producers want, might be possible. I don't know who will do it. I will do it. Someone else will do it. Who will? But it's open ending, so it hasn't possibility of a sequel. But everything is open right now. Nothing has been finalized. But I say, energy is not cannot be destroyed. So, in a horror film, which is all about energy, ghost or spirit are all about energy. So you cannot kill a spirit or ghost. So you can just the ghost or spirit will get away from a body, but it will be in the universe. So those are free spirits. So you never know whom Amari might possess next. So
Next.
I don't know.
Looking forward to Amari's Ghost in the next
Yes.
sequel. Hopefully, there is another, because this did really well. This did really well. I mean, I think your movie has set a trend now. Like people will be looking forward to Odia movies in theaters. And may I tell you, it's been so many days since the first release, and I went to watch the movie, like a day before this podcast happened, and the house was still full. And that's the magic you're spinning in theaters, and may I congratulate you on that. And there is one thing that I always do when I watch movies, while coming out and walking back to the back to my vehicle, whatever time I spend in the elevator, I like to listen to people, what they are going to talk about the movie now. And I remember there was this old gentleman who was telling his wife, This movie was not about the ghost of Amari. This movie was about Ratnamala. Like, how far is she willing to go to protect her child against all odds, be it his own father, who was very wrongly going to, sacrifice him to gain some monetary benefits, or be it Amari, a very, aggressive, a very aggrieved ghost who was wronged in the past, wrongfully killed, but has come back to avenge. And he finds that if this time he can somehow keep Rinky with himself, he will be able to complete his cycle from the last life. So, how did you feel that, Babushaan and Archita would be the right fit for these two roles?
The script has been chosen by the production house, Babushaan Film. So Buttu has to be played by Babushaan. That
It was pretty determined.
yes. But if you see, so that was a predetermined thing. But if you see the film now in hindsight, or if this script has been offered to me without Babushaan films also, the Babushaan is the best guy to play Buttu. Like, he has done a tremendous job.
He has that innocence on his
He has
face.
the innocence, he has the spookiness, he has that aggressiveness, he has that, when something possessed him, he
Changed.
changed to, that character also very subtle. The transition was very subtle, very smooth.
Very smooth.
So the range of acting in Mr. Babashan is terrific. So you can make him play anything. So though it was pre-decided he will play Buttu, and I think that is the best decision ever. And then when we wrote the script and everything, when we thought about Rinky, who should be playing Rinky, and when you see the characterization of Rinky, what is Rinky, who is Rinky, what is he doing in the village? If you see, Rinky is a smart, educated, confident lady who
Who's
is
running her own
who is
business?
she's an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
doing her business in the village, like what the government says ki, क्या स्वावलंबी बनो, or
Atmanirbhar.
Atmanirbhar India. So she is
So she's
actually
Atmanirbhar.
she is
Hmm.
doing that only in our village. And so, and she's a mature lady. The If you see the love story also, it's a kind of so when we thought about who should be playing this character, so unanimously Archita came to our mind, because the ease, the confidence, the that mature love story who can play, I think we chose the best one, so who is Archita. So there was no next thought to it.
Right. So, now this brings me to another, to next question of mine. Background music was on point. I think most of the feelings that you get out of a horror movie is from the background score itself, right? And the background for this movie was on point, especially the song Lal Tuk Tuk, Lal Tuk Tuk. And if I'm not wrong, Instagram has been telling me the protagonist herself has, recorded the song in her own original voice. Is that
Yes,
true?
yes, yes, yes. Madam Aparita Mahanti has sang this song, Lal Tuk Tuk, and
Hmm.
she has done a brilliant job, I must say. Because when I heard the scratch,
The raw version.
the raw version sent by, that was with a scratch voice, and when I listened to the voice by our protagonist, Aparita Mahanti, so you get a haunted vibe, you get
Hmm.
the whole film comes to your mind, the lyrics to it, the music, the arrangement to the song, and her voice, it adds up. It creates an atmosphere in itself.
Correct.
That's a very strong, powerful song. It that was kind of theme of our theme song of our film.
Hmm.
So when the story was being written, there will be a theme song that was written in the script also.
Hmm.
Imran has mentioned in the beginning of the film, and that lady being dragged to the boat,
Hmm.
there will be a theme song in the
Hmm.
beginning. So that was pre-decided, and when Prayata Mahanti sang this song, she took it to the next level. And this is Lal Tuk Tuk is my favorite track from the film.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Because
And
Lal Tuk Tuk brings some vivid childhood memories to our mind.
yes, yes.
We've always been fond of those phrases,
Hmm.
but now your movie has given it a completely different,
Yes, I must
dimension to it.
thanks I must mention Mr. Gaurav Anand, who is our music director, who has done a fantastic job, and of course Abhishek Panigray, our background score, who has done the background music and also arrangement. Both of them have done a tremendous job, which is basically the background score, the background music. Those things are kind of are lacking in our films. Whatever
Films.
the kind of soul of the films are background music, the background score,
Hmm.
and they have done a brilliant job. Vishaka has done a brilliant job in background music.
I'm sure everybody in the theater with me has praised the background music, and that kind of brought the whole movie together.
True, true. I agree.
The scenes, the cinematography, I mean, I can go on endless about it, but I'm not the right person to talk about it. I'm just just an avid fan of your movies and the horror genre itself. Jagdish, a lot of it's been documented in different articles, podcasts, and interviews. People who make or become a part of a horror movie usually have their own tales to tell. Oh, I was shooting at the spot and something eerie happened to me. I almost felt something was behind me. Did something like that happen to you during the course of this movie?
No, actually, I also heard those kind of tales from my crew. Ki when we shoot a horror film, you know, most of the time some eerie event happens or something. Well, I was also expecting something, but unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. So unfortunately or fortunately, we didn't get feel any that. I didn't feel that kind of event. I will honestly, but some crew members was telling some eerie thing. I don't know how much true it is. Maybe those might be rumors or something. But yeah, what I feel why these things happen, because otherwise there is very strong tales of eerie events happening in horror film sets. There are many instances. In fact, few of my crew members were already felt that in previous films when they are doing other horror films. The writer Imran was there in a film set 2 3 years back. He was doing a horror film. They also he felt some eerie thing, and if most of the crew members in that film felt the eerie thing. But in our film, we didn't feel that much of thing. But what happens when you do a film, with negative energies? You're talking about things about negative energies,
You're rehearsing them.
rehearsing them. You're trying to emulate that negative energy to your character in a film. So as I said, the world is full of energies: negative,
Mm.
good, bad, negative, positive. So what you do, you attract. When you do negative things, you attract
Attract
negative
negative
energies.
things.
So most probably that might be a theory. When you do things regarding negative energies, you attract negative energies, and that will, once the negative energies are there, they're having fun at the film set. Okay, films have that might be the thing that they're enjoying the film set and they must be being a background artist, or they might be saying ki, okay, why don't you film me, I'm the lead actor here. So
Right. Was there a part of movie that really spooked you? You've seen the movie getting made. You've seen it coming into life. Was there a scene or a part of that movie that you really felt spooked yourself?
Hmm. Uh, there are a couple of, but you see, what happens because we are making a film.
You really are not into the
Because
whole.
I'm there from scripting to everything. If you exactly, but there are some scenes where I really get those feels, the
Mhm.
chills, or I see that this will give
The
chills to an
audience some
audience.
chills.
So that interval scene,
Uh-huh.
I really
The face off.
the I got chills. That of the scene when Babushaan tells Bou Buttu Bhuta, that kind of really that gave the feel. Then there is another scene when mm, Lee's house.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa somehow
The
that,
Karna
oh yeah,
Pishachini when she
yeah,
gets.
that was a good scene. Then at Rinky's house when
Oh, that I think everybody got scared in that
mhm,
scene. I think everybody got
Rinky's
scared in
house,
that
that
scene.
was also I got chills. Another drama scene I really loved when the face off between Buttu and Bou
Mm-hmm.
before he goes to the visa
Dubai.
office.
Mm.
After that Shraddha scene, when
Mm.
Buttu and Bou, there's a quarrel between Buttu and Bou regarding.
And he calls her out because this is because of you that
Yes,
dad
that
died,
I
and
really loved
yeah.
that moment. Also, I really loved that moment when they both acted. That one was one of my
I
favorite moments.
usually don't anticipate to see myself crying when I'm watching a horror movie, but your movie made me, have a couple of tears in my eyes towards the very end of the movie. I think when the movie came all together, when she was finally letting go her son, and she was telling him that, I've given you a new number, a new
Mm-hmm.
phone, go out and, you can call me for whatever you need. And that's when it really hit me that how difficult it must have been for Ratnamala.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what took, look at the whole movie and look at the whole story. What really took, what magnitude of things happened for her to be able to let go of her son,
Mm-hmm.
even if it is just to the other country,
Mm-hmm.
just for an employment. So I think the whole movie really came out really, really well together, and the palette balancing that you've done is phenomenal. And I think all the actors, irrespective of the magnitude of their role and screen time, everybody has done a tremendous job in bringing the whole movie together. It was a beautifully portrayed teamwork.
Yes, yes, I definitely. All the artists are like they have done marvelous job. Well, if you see Mandakin is role, it was for 5 to 6 minutes,
Maybe yes.
but she has killed it.
Even the police, even the village police cop,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's a cop, but he's really not seen as a cop.
Hmm.
He's expected to find lost goats, not lost
Yeah.
humans. And then finally, when there is a, killing of a human in the village, he doesn't know what to do.
Hmm.
And how easily he gets motivated by his father to go out and look for the, perpetrator. Although the whole matter is about a couple of goats or maybe a little over a couple of goats. But I really liked because that cop was very relatable, Have we not all felt the same with our parents? Right? No matter how much we grow and, we do well, somehow the expectations they have from us are very rooted, very grounded, And that was beautifully portrayed.
I agree to that point because I remember when I was doing engineering, I was in second or third year or something. I came to my house in vacation and my father told me to repair the old TV. What are you doing? What kind of engineer are you if you can't repair the TV? I said, yeah, true, but that's not
I
my
think it
job.
is every engineer's
Yeah, like,
story, right?
right. That's like, yeah, parents are like that only. Like,
So if you're
they,
a cop, you can find a goat for me, yes.
yes, what kind of cop are you if
Or
you
you can
can't
find a
find a
goat,
goat?
yes. How can I expect you to find humans if they
Yes,
ever
yes,
get lost?
yes, yes, true.
But yes, to sum up this whole conversation with you, Jagdish, it has been a very fantastic conversation,
Thank you.
and the movie itself was a huge reveal. And I expect all of you who have not seen the movie, irrespective of where you stay and what language you speak, I mean, you can still watch the movie. It's one of a kind and it's breaking chains and cycles in the Odia industry, and I hope it does the same thing for you. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you so much, Jagdish.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you very much.
And for you guys who have not watched the movie yet, please go to your nearest theaters and watch it and give your honest reviews on the comment section below. Do give us a like, share, and subscribe. Until I see you again, take care. Thank you.